Ebusama acquired by found Bragana Sam TVGH. Make sure like, comment, subscribing, turn your notification also so that anytime you post video, be say we are Busam Bekebi. Ebusam for look, this word is not fair. Yes, we will. If you want to follow some things, you'll be tempted to say things that I mean, look, Yanina your mind, and we know one person our mind we ma or yeah very 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 controversial on Bupeni Sammy Gyamfi. Hey, Sammy Gyamfi was so reckless.
We are not just making up tags for tagging sake. We are describing them by who they are. If you have a president who has demonstrated, even in recent time, that he lacks the mental capacity, the mental intelligence to govern.
When you say the president lacks the mental capacity and intelligence to govern, you know what our constitution says? You're a lawyer.
When he was in opposition, and was a national communication director, officer of NDC. Sammy Gyamfi omu to make demonstration now mo to nyom say kumnana do maye nyakopon kumnana do maye. All these things Sammy Gyamfi did. Claims upon claims, allegations upon allegations. All these things were the modus operandi of Sammy Gyamfi and in the NDC for when they were in opposition. Now, Nyamincha dear and God being so good, NDC is in power. Sammy Gyamfi is CEO of Gold Board. And IMF also gracefully is coming out with revelations about the Gold Board as Sammy Gyamfi heading. Now, look, when IMF says something, now Ebian Crawford is some Perusia. What we are getting from Sammy Gyamfi threat say or threatening legal prosecution. Sammy Gyamfi now has the gut to threaten legal actions against people that he thinks that they are saying something that is untrue. This same Sammy Gyamfi. No. And Afia Pokua say Sammy Gyamfi de abotre. Nya abotre na masa. Nya ma wu ye. Ejuma wu di dia MPP for ne Akufo adwo mind we mu. And the kind of allegations, what allegations are who Sammy Gyamfi who trigger a brana NDC our power no. Anka, yes see. Yes started a legal action. Ere tiawa. Ubetumi agina. And Sammy Gyamfi, look, you cannot eat your cake and have it. Some of these things are happening today. It was that you thought the people. You thought some of not me. I will not personally. I will not say something about someone that I don't have no evidence to. But Sammy Gyamfi, you did worse. You did worse. And then I know you cannot withstand your own medicine. A draw the mind people for a brand new opposition. The same medication I present from I feel the would also there. I don't know, yes, sir. Please drop down those threats. If you have Pokua make actually say, I drop those threats now and face the music squarely. Now wait here, Enko Siaga.
Yo, maybe that's it. I clip. Jay, kindly come in. Good morning.
Good. May Hanum say the good evening. I'm on a different continent, you know.
No problem. No problem.
Good evening to you guys. I was just listening in the conversation, and I just wanted to make a few contributions. Okay. In Mimi area now, I am a medical doctor.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm a pharmacologist.
Oh, okay, that's nice. And I mean, working in a different, system, or living in a different country. I live in Brazil, and I've been living here for quite some time now. But I am my parents and them and now for I have colleagues, who are also doctors over there in Ghana, and they are practicing. Some of them are friends and nurses and the other. And then if you look at the status of our healthcare system, I was in Ghana now, the minimum area. I mean, one of the reasons I even wanted to talk was the fact of when you mentioned the situation of your elder brother. Say, your elder brother lost his life because of a kidney issue, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, in this 21st century, we're in 2026, and we have not been able to standardize our healthcare system in such a way that certain chronic diseases that are cost intensive should not be the burden of citizens. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. Baby, away. I live in a small town here. It's about 200,000 people, the population. Now, just a town of 200,000 people. You have 4 functioning hospitals with over 1,000 bed capacity. This is Brazil. This is not the United States. This is Brazil. All of these hospitals are they are public hospitals and they're private hospitals. Public hospitals. If somebody is in need of dialysis, we have 3 dialysis centers. They have the rotations. And kind of dialysis is supposed to be at least 3 times in a week.
Yeah.
That 3 times in a week, Nipa no say yɛmfa say me sitting na mete ne say no said baby ɔte no ɛwɔ kakra, let's say 1 hour 2 hours away. What happens? The ambulance ɛkɔfa no ofie. Ne yɛde naba. No aba be ne dialysis owia ambulance na sa akɔ akɔsi no ofie.
Wow.
What I say? Why? Because some of these kinds of issues, they are cost intensive and they are also life intensive. Nipa betimi yewu. What I say? And we need to be able to protect our human capital as a country. But if some of these things need to mean for policies and to honor, say beboa ama the ordinary Ghanaian and watono. Na ni eni man say Vice President yare ofu plane no ko US. Vice President Oscar abayen bebo no hoka de na ko US. But how many ordinary Ghanaians will be able to pay the dialysis fee? 1,000 Ghana cedis. How many of them will be able to pay? Your leaders, they don't really think about us. They don't really take us into consideration. And unfortunately, a lot of us, Ghana for Navy, and so we will defend this nonsense. We are going to defend it. Didn't I make us
My brother, what will have happened where you are? What will have happened if 6 years of patient medical history just vanishes into the air like that? The whole nation. What will have happened?
It can't even vanish. That's the whole point. It can't vanish. Maybe the hospitals that I work with, do you know what happens with patients' history? You get triple backup.
There are backups.
So you have the one.
Yeah.
You have the one that is on the cloud. What did I say? You have the one that is on the cloud. Every patient's evolution and history be a bear for the day be an printed. After we have printed, almost on Akufo administrative guys in the hospital national format. Every week they go over all the patient history, reprint them and archive them, physical archive. Your places are those papers in United. According to Brazilian law, it is only after 20 years and some of it we have discarded those papers. And you do BAD too so. Even if the person will how many years ago, you're still going to find the patient's history there. What's I say? So it is impossible. And the whole backup system is dead and gone, and it facility name just it's very, very difficult. Into patient history, I had them say you won't find patients 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you're still going to find it in the system. So and these are things that are not even very difficult to do. Like these are just systems and cultures that we need to implement.
The minister says that I'm not going to pay the company that has the backup. I'm going to bring my own company. Fuck every patient history. That's what happened.
Well, the emphasis say even if you want to bring your own company, that's not even the point. The point is we have data transfer. Sometimes it's like an insult to our intelligence. What did I say? The fact that you want to bring a different company does not annul the fact to say the previous data that was there should just be made to vanish into thin air. Because our previous data never vanish. there's going to be a doctor who is going to come, a new doctor who is going to come into that facility. He doesn't know that patient. He would have to depend on that history to know how to treat that patient. Patients need to go on my way in Ghana. Me, I speak to my mom, I speak to my family members. Who be some a drone na when me drone a drone I say orange be a yellow. I mean a drone yellow they said also. Oh a blue. A drone blue there. Everything be there. What I say? So the patients don't even know what they're taking in. So these are some of the things that
time you really spend now at triage has increased because your medical history is gone.
Yes.
So now they have to take now your bio data all over again and run basic data all over again.
Ask yourself, say, how many people are able to even remember? How many people remember the kind of procedures they went through? What did I say? Maybe 1 year ago, 2 years ago. Not so many people remember.
No.
There are people who have chronic diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes. Maybe every time you go hospital, you almost take your friend is saying the measurement of the BP, your friend is saying glucose level. It is a measurement no take it over time. We can do what we call the pressure curve, and also the diabetic glucose curve.
Yeah.
And only it's lost.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You see,
so people have to spend money again. Oh,
for my PhD work, for my PhD work, I'm working on I'm into clinical pharmacology, and what I'm looking at microphobia, omoye, and depressed people, the people who have anxiety issues and who are on certain medication over time, and seeing if those medications are affecting their memory and thought processing. That is what my PhD is on. Now, when I started doing the work, there was a lot of data available for me to be able to work and have a new client. When this issue happened, I had to put everything on hold now, and now I have to wait for another time, like another year, like this whole year. I have to wait.
Oh my God!
For new data to come in to be able. But you can imagine the impact of such a study, because affect your memory over time. You are headed in the wrong direction because most of these medications are lifelong. Right? But because of this single thing that has happened, both research has suffered, which is new discoveries, medications, and all those things. And then people also, there's a high tendency to be given a wrong drug in the first aid that is going to be given to you.
Exactly.
People will think, say, you are being political. But you see, when you force it and go to the hospital, nobody asks you for your party card.
Exactly. Nobody asks you. And as someone, it's very true, because if you look into this area of psychiatry, and if you look into this area of all of these drugs for mental health issues, most of these drugs create lots of dependencies. What you say? And there are lots of patients who maybe with time we may have to change the class of medication that we are giving them based on whatever reaction that they are presenting. What you say? Some of them you cannot even just take them off the medication at once. You have to do slow withdrawal. Before you even introduce another one.
Dependency issues and addiction.
Exactly. In TCC, there is no data. So the next doctor that sits down, he has to sort of like guess.
Exactly. I said, those days, I don't know if you grew up in Ghana. When they are teaching you how to cook in Ghana, and they are teaching you about salt quantity, they don't tell you that, maybe 2 spoons or
eye measurement.
You pour it until you hear your ancestors telling you to stop. This is enough. That's when you stop.
No, but it's really sad. And especially in your area, for example, for academia. Academia,
Yeah, Wycliffe, come in.
No. They had the better politics, The doc, you are being charitable with the issue. Here comes that we have when we were going in the 2024 election. I don't know if I asked you, did you hear Baumia's position on health? What Baumia was talking about and what Mahama was talking about. Here comes not that we had some instances where our friends said, "Voice Obekaya." Not these dialysis patients, not PCF for giving account of certain. Our friend say, we are the more. I change your and which Baumia was proposing that it to be free going into 2025.
Hydroxy urea. Yeah.
Ghanaians were not listening. It's our urology center. It wasn't there.
He put it there, and the government or the way do we change that government? And look at the decision that Ghanaian made. Maybe I had the emphasis politics. Well, you are being charitable with the issue, and that it goes back to the Ghanaian electorate who made this decision. So it should go back to their doorsteps. Did they listen to what Baumia was telling them? Did they also listen to what John Mahama was telling them? So now one could make you voices heard, especially my people from Kumasi, Yantubia, and I so I mean that's a so I 2 years we have been patient. Ghanaians, we don't simulate well and make an informed choice. We were not saying said now MPP for struggle for, but in between the two devils, they can't be the same. A and B can never be the same. In between two devils, at least one will be better. Nia Kuku taking side decision one moment this parliament.
Parliament
go back
that
to
was the biggest.
I mean, it is quite unfortunate. I was speaking to a few friends recently. Said what happened in the previous election was not actually the NDC winning. It was a boycott on the part of the electorates, on the part of the MPP. Because in 2020, when Nanado won the elections, he won with 6.6 million, right?
Yeah.
And President Mahama lost with 6.2 million. In this 2024 election, he won with 6.3 million. His gain was only 100,000 on what he had before in the 2020 election. But there was a very huge boycott because people were like, okay, about 2.5 million people did not vote.
Yeah.
As I say. And that is what unfortunately has put us in this kind of position. I mean, for example, with these, all these hospital projects, I think it is the Agenda 111 project, right?
Yeah.
Where there are so many hospitals. We read the news all the time, and that there is no bed, and that emergency, and all of these kind of things. And you really think about it, say, maybe people would sort of like, in this moment, in these kind of moments, and realize, okay, we have to put more pressure on these guys.
They don't care. They don't care. They are rather talking about Mahama preaching in church. I mean, that's the country we are part of. Doc, thank you so much. Let me listen to Nanaya. Nanaya, good morning.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nanaya, good morning. Jabiabako. Yo, it's you.
Dialysis has said me made them who am fatum. Kidney we on say Ghanaian so a dear boy no. Aya yen value na da na ye den yediechi. Ghana se we yare na se wuniska ubewu.
Oh yeah, simple.
Beside the year 2022. Oh, it made you me time. Always be a juma stress. Be a kidney problem. Na me wana me na swallow na can you say me sika na ewo ho na ka me hui. That time, a kidney transplant. You gave me 100 and almost getting to 200 million. Sanka das kanini wa na kamiwuye. Na obi nya adwen we. Na ode aba na aman no beto abama na ya toa so no. Na makotie kokon keten. Ekotie she talk
Wallet in boot.
Ekotie like on necessary. And then motion yeko. MPP aban also na Ghana flood say. Almost so I was a galam say. She say he for na campings e wo krom ha. And this na ne ekoso yi won hwe de bia omanto fu omu a ombeto light bill so. Yes we yen dollar bafem dollar na ebe di ada the dollar mbawo for market o de dollar na kwakoto amu o de dollar na kwakoto ngo dabi Ghanaian so ene hwe nyama bebra Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia de ba enam ne nsa so buy drones ewen
Oh, I'm
Oko
not good
hospital
company, no cry. I'm not good company. I'm not
wa
the
na
car good company, no.
me kɔ kolebu na me fi kolebu na me kɔ tamale. Me mfa hwee nkita o, but bibia wɔ network. Udu ana oma inde ewen
Oh,
paperless game. This is government we have. Say who way MPP ni NDC a, who say MPP is far better than NDC. Far better. MPP for akɔ school eduachi. Ɛna ɔmo MPP for yɛn kasa bebree o. Knowledge, but ɛno na ɛha yɛn. NDC for de nada. Ɛne ada petwa. Ɛnɛ yɛ kɔka bia ɔmo bɛkye yɛn. Unya ye hwi no mate na me se inshallah o se Ghana fa hunyansa na 2028 election no na ebe se nyage me se NDC fu be lose more seats na MPP fu ye fa nye esuade hu na se eba power bi ma nyama ye no ye mbɔ hu dehuru na ye nyama bebre ye kan ya no tum na NDC fu de ntoro na abegi tumi na nde ewie
yo,
yen sei na minim
yo, I
say
think,
ye eba
mm,
power
yo. Thank you so much, Nanaya. That's an excellent one from Nanaya. For I mean, as the conversation is going, I think we are just about 10 minutes now. May I wrap it up? But in the end of everything, no, it's not just politics, and I say politics as usual. But Nyamano, people are affected by the decisions of every government.